So I don't know how it'll turn out with all those losses of great manga series, but I mean, if other companies are willing to pick up the slack and all these lost series and reproduce them like they have with Akira and Samurai Deeper Kyo, I think that would be really good. So then, now, and then also another thing about Tokyopop is, one of the things that originally made them very popular is their 100 authentic manga sort of publicity stunt where they said that, you know, when they produce it will be 100% authentic, which means it would be done originally in the right to left format and also with the sound effects put in with the original sound effects in it, which a lot of people do say makes a big difference because it helps preserve the art. But for me, I want to know what the stinking sound effect is for the scene. Like, if it's just, you know, if it's like a door sliding and there's a little sound effect there, I could go like, okay, that's like a swoosh sound. But if it's in like a laboratory or something, and you see like a really big sound effect, you don't know if that's an earthquake or explosion or alarm going off or whatever. You know, not knowing what a sound effect is in a certain scene does create problems. Although, you know, if you want the best of both worlds, I would say that either they could include a glossary in the back that gives you detail of what the translated sound effects are, or you could go with Dark Horse where they actually put the little parentheses in there and put what the actual sound effect is, or one thing that Yen Plus does do with theirs, they actually go one step further. They put the original sound effect along with the sound effect in Japanese, and then underneath that, the actual translation of the Japanese sound effect in English, which seems a little extensive. Like, I don't really care to know what the sound effect is in Japanese. I think it's just extra stuff to clutter up the panel or something. So just put it in English and I'm good with that. But some people do care about that. So that was their big marketing deal when they were first coming out. They also do produce mostly, some of their big name titles are like Rave Master, and also they produce like most of all of the Gundam series. That was them. They also produced a lot of their other big ones are Fruit Basket, and also one of their biggest sellers is Chibi Vampire, which I have yet to read, but people say it's good. And you know, the New York Times actually says that on the manga top 10 bestsellers that it's usually up there along with some Viz titles including Naruto and Bleach. You know, so it does seem that it warrants some recognition in that sense. And they also did Battle Royale, which is a big one. And that's about all I had to say about Tokyopop. I would definitely say that it's Tokyopop second place, and then now we go to first place with Viz Entertainment, or Viz Media, yeah. Which I guess Viz is short for visual, but visual is spelled with an S and this is a Z, so it's like, ha! Illiteracy is cool in that sense. But don't let the funky name fool you. These guys are definitely deserve the top spot for their intense amount of licensure, especially over the long course that they have been around. They have been around for a very long time, even back in, I think, all the way back in, I think, a little bit before the 90s, and they have been producing tons of series. They also produce tons of series at low prices. Like, they're the ones that were producing the Shonen Jump tankobons at like $8, and hell yeah, I'll take that. And then they also are coming out with the big edition versions, which are like $18 as opposed to buying them individually for like $30. I'm like, hell yeah. And they're even higher quality paper. They also produce like the English sound effects, which I think is fine. They also have. I was also talking with Kelly Sue DeConnick, who now does translation for it, when she previously did translation for Tokyopop, and she said a lot nicer working conditions than with Tokyopop. And there are actually a lot of translators that generally do go from Tokyopop to Viz Media, Viz Entertainment, because of that condition itself. Like when I was talking to her, it was back when Slam Dunk was in its 4th volume release, and she said she had just finished writing the script for the 11th volume. So you can tell that these are people that got their junk together, and they're not just, and they have deadlines that they meet, and they don't F around and do delays and stuff. Like, they have a strict schedule, and they always come out with stuff. In fact, like Naruto, they came out with like 3 volumes a month for catching up with that, with the series in Japan. Now, that is commitment, and I think they're going to do the same thing with One Piece 2. I don't know, but it'd be nice, because they're up to like 50 and we're on like 22. So, so they definitely do that stuff for the readers, because they know they care. They also come out with way more stuff. They got Tezuka stuff like Phoenix and Adolf. They got old stuff and new stuff. They got stuff from the 70s and the 80s. They've got new stuff that just came out. They also have a general tendency of grabbing like all of the work from a specific author. Like if one series sells well, like Monster,